After weeks of heavy battle, the latest ceasefire in Sudan seems to be holding. But some clashes on the streets are still being reported, including artillery fire heard in parts of the capital. Naba Moeddin has more from Wat Madani, southeast of Khartoum.
The new ceasefire entered into force for one day now, and already the residents of the capital Khartoum reported a relative calm situation and night. For the first time, residents of the capital said they could be able to shop and buy some groceries in the morning and the next morning after the ceasefire entered into force. So there is good indicators that this ceasefire will hold better than the past ceasefire, maybe because it's monitored by a mechanism. That mechanism is involving 3 members from the military and other 3 members from RSF troops and 3 members from the Saudi Arabia and the United States. So maybe the monitoring mechanism and the waiving of sanctions by the US is making the two sides at least adhering this ceasefire and respecting it. Regarding the humanitarian situation, people are still living a dire situation in the capital Khartoum, and there is very short aid provided because most of the organizations are monitoring the situation and evaluating it despite the relative calm night, but they don't expect that ceasefire will hold. Maybe we'll see a better delivery for aid in the second day of the ceasefire, and that will show indicators that the two parties, the warring factions, are willing to open these humanitarian corridors. The situation is not only calm in Khartoum, but also in other used to be intensifying areas like Western Darfur, Al Junaina and Niala, and also northern Kordofan. So if this ceasefire holds, of course, it will pave the way for longer ceasefires and maybe for a comprehensive resolution for the crisis and not a temporary ceasefire, but a permanent ceasefire. So this is a very good indicator that this ceasefire will last this time, because the two sides adhere it for the first time in 5 weeks of continuous fighting. So we are monitoring the situation and we will see what are the results of this monitoring mechanism on the ground and whether the humanitarian delivery will be achieved on the ground, especially in the capital Khartoum, as people are still living a very dire humanitarian situation and of course a collapsing health system. Naba Moeddin, CGTN, Madani, Sudan.